Hello, everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Lydia here with your new moon reading, which happens to also be a solar eclipse, and that is on October 14th here in the Northern Hemisphere. Wow, the energies are ramping up. And I had mentioned this in my 6-month reading, so I'll put the link below for you to check this out. But wow, if the energies have not hit you now, oh my goodness, with this eclipse coming up, and because we're sandwiched between two very powerful full moons, the full moon being at the end of this month. Yeah, we're really feeling it, and it's definitely something that will continue. In my opinion, and also my intuition is telling me that this energy is going to continue to rise between now and the end of December. And you can see that especially in the world right now. There's so much going on, and more discords, discordance, more butting heads. There's, of course, countries at war. There's a lot going on that is changing the scenery for us on the outskirts, but it's also changing on the inside. And the other thing to note is that wherever there is something that is happening in a negative, you want to call it that, in a negative, then there's always something going on positively. And I believe that part of that is our internal growth. What we're facing right now is a product, I believe, of some of our past lives, so past incarnations and or incarnations that are existing today that we are actually feeling the energies of. So having said that, then we're also we're getting a chance. A lot of us are actually have done this in the past already, but basically we're getting the chance of learning or re-experiencing through memory what it was that we've been through in the past in order for us to make amends with it, forgiveness and acceptance of the situation before moving forward in this lifetime. And knowing that we have already done that, in some circumstances, we're actually taking the knowledge that we have from that and bringing it into a situation that is very similar in this lifetime at this time. So at this point, the energies are changing and shifting so that we recognize that we have this wisdom within us in the first place. We have it in what we would call the Akashic records within ourselves. And it's innate. It's something that is right in our DNA, and we can access the wisdom that we have collected along these different life paths at this very time. And we're going to find that between now and the end of this year, the clarity for some of these experiences are going to become even better. So this is a very exciting time. It's exciting and crazy and challenging all at the same time. Like, I have to say that not only is it the circumstances that we're feeling that are it sometimes can be completely overwhelming, but also the emotional, mental, and physical changes that are going on within us from all the changes as well. Our ascension status. I mean, when I say ascension status, I'm talking about the consciousness that is changing within us, and we know it, we could feel it. There is no doubt that there is something going on within each and every one of us. So, having said that, this solar eclipse, which is going to be happening here in the Northern Hemisphere, not all of us are going to be seeing it. Just a a small path might be able to see it more on the eastern side of North America, but or further south, I'd say in North America, so around the Arizona area. I believe that's when the path of the solar eclipse is going to be. It's it's an annular eclipse as well, so what it just means is that there's a ring that's around the planet, and basically the moon, and it looks as though it's on fire. Let's just put it that way. It's like it looks like the ring of fire. And so, having said that, it's different. It's something that we don't see very often as well. Again, a rare occurrence. Um, we're going through a lot of rare occurrences, but we're also going through a lot of cycles at this time. With the solar eclipse is amplifying everything. It's because it's also falling on a new moon. We've got a full moon coming up shortly after. We're really, really in this intense mode of energy. So, having said that, let's check out what the cards have to say about this whole time period, the solar eclipse and the new moon specifically, but this is probably going to go right up until the end of the month, if not the end of the year. So we're working with two different decks today. We're looking at the Divine Feminine, and by Meggan Watterson, and basically we're also going to be looking at the Shaman's Dream Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. So the first one we're looking at, I've chosen three of the cards, and basically I haven't looked at it yet. So let's look at this together. The first card we have is Freya, the goddess of discernment. I spend my time wisely. I only say yes when it's a holy hell yes. Sorry, I have to laugh at that because holy hell yes. Anyhow, let's look at what Freya has to say for the goddess of discernment. Now, I've been saying in several of the readings that we have to be very discerning about everything that is going on around us when it comes to what the media is putting out there, what anybody has actually said to us, new things cropping up on our emails or social media. Be very discerning about everything that is there, and use your intuition. This is a test, literally a test of our intuition and how to use this to maintain more and more clarity. And we're going to be able to do that a whole lot easier too, just because we are tapping into, like I say, the Akash that each and every one of us has. So let's see what Freya has to say and about discernment, because I know it's pretty much going to be similar to what I've been saying. Who she is. Freya embodies the fierce and finely honed spiritual skill of discerning the most life giving choice in each moment. In Norse mythology, Freya is one of the most powerful and important deities. She is chief of the Valkyries, the demigoddesses who choose who will live and who will die during every battle and war. After being Valkyries, the demigoddesses become Norns, the great goddesses who weave the fates and histories of peoples and nations. Freya rides into battle wearing a magical cloak of falcon feathers and takes half of those fighting. For her Valkyries, she models how to choose. Then she rules over her heavenly afterlife, called Sessrumnir. She receives half of all those who die in battle, and the other half go to Valhalla, where the god Odin presides. She wears a legendary necklace, or torque, named Brisingamen, with a powerful jewel that makes her irresistible. It is said to be gleaming and golden. It compels people to her when she calls. So, when your soul selects her card, discernment is derived from the Greek word diakrisis or diakrisis. It refers to a spiritual power that allows you to distinguish between the spirits that will cause harm and the spirits that will assist you. It lets us discern when a phone call or an email or a visit from a friend is going to add to our day or if it's going to derail it. Discernment is the difference between feeling led by the day, pulled this way and that, and claiming it. Our time in this lifetime, at least, is limited. Every second is significant. Freya reminds us of the searing perception we all have, but perhaps don't use frequently enough. She wants us to be discerning about how we choose to spend our time and whom we choose to love. She wants us to never, ever say yes to anything or anyone from a place of fear or obligation. Keep that one in mind. You are a demigoddess, a Valkyr, a priestess of your own fate. You get to choose the life you want to live, and this happens by being fierce and warrior-like about what you say yes to. Use discernment so that you are only saying yes to what will actually nourish and renew you, inspire, or expand you. It's not your business to worry about those you might disappoint. You were not made to meet everyone's expectations of you. You were made to express the truth of who you are and to use the brief time you have here to live out your potential. Nothing is obligatory except breathing. Your only true obligation is to the voice of your own soul. Freya wants you to realize the gleaming gold that you are and act accordingly. She wants you to unapologetically choose the life you actually want to be living right now. She wants you to make your yes holy again by only using it when it's the truth. A soul voice meditation you could use: what does a hell yes, the holy yes, feel like in my body? So this is interesting just because it does really point at using our intuition as to figuring out what it is that is truth and what is not. We follow our own internal truth. We have an internal truth. And that internal truth it's paramount and it's led by spirit. And if we are following it and we are understanding that we're following it, then we're guided to a point that you will find abundance and things just falling in place. And if it doesn't fall in place, you'll note what to tweak in order to fall into place so that your day becomes effortless and less challenging than you can ever imagine. If this is in truth basically what is going on, the fact that we have to be very discerning, then and really exercising our intuition, then what it is honing us to do is to become a better part of ourselves, to hone the potentials that are there, that are literally beyond doors that we just need to take a step to open so that abundance comes in. And abundance is a big thing right now because of the fact that we have access to this. This is a different time where people have maybe gone through cycles of terrible lack or feeling that they are in lack and have learned over time and time again of saying no to lack and saying, all right, you know what? Something good has come of this. I've not stayed in lack for a length of time. So, in other words, something resets itself or it basically accommodates a newness, a newness that brings in abundance. And it's, if you look back at it in your life, there would have been cycles where you felt like you were lacking, and I mean, specifically financially, I'll say that. And then all of a sudden, something abundant comes along. You might have sent something out there to the universe and prayed or set an intention that actually led towards an action or successful action in a project or a creative project that you were doing, and all of a sudden something came up. So this is honoring the miraculous abundance that comes to you, and also knowing that because we are honing our intuition, we have this at our door. That said, we still need to be very discerning about everything that is going on because there's a lot that's being thrown at us. If there's, I mean, to that end, look to when something's going on with regards to war or whatever, look behind the scenes. And what you're being told doesn't necessarily have to be exactly what it is that's being told to you. Look further to see the truth. Find out whether, don't just listen to something and think of it as gold, that's what it is. Because right now there are a lot of different and dark factions that are trying to throw a whole bunch of things at you that might be perceived as truth or might be perceived as false truth. So it's really difficult to do that too. You don't know what's right. You don't know what's truth. You don't know unless you check in with your intuition. And that is what this goddess is telling you about. And it's interesting too, the solar eclipse is in Libra. And Libra weighs the scales. It's basically the scales of justice. You have something that will keep you in balance. And the only way to keep you in balance is basically to recognize what is truth, what resonates with you to keep you in balance. So let's look at the next card, which is from the Shaman stream this time, and see what comes up in this story. Cosmic Womb, the Divine Feminine, which I think is very interesting because that is the name of the first deck that we just went through. Cosmic Womb. So the other thing about this too, and it seems like it's a bit of a progressive part of this story, is that the Divine Feminine always has to do with compassion, yielding compassion towards yourself and others around you, and looking through a compassionate set of eyes will always give you the right result. And so let's look at this and just see what is said in this little story to see where the divine feminine is coming from. We're looking at Freya with discernment. Now we're looking at the cosmic womb. Creativity, the divine feminine. The cosmic womb is a reminder that you're undergoing a beautiful process of birthing a new self into being. You don't know who or what it is yet, but you know it's full of life and love and passion and spirit. It's the perfect expression of you, imbued with love incarnate and ignited by the vital spark received from the divine. If you've had a difficult time in recent memory, feeling dry and stagnant or lost and unsupported, this is changing right now. You will feel newly inspired as so many ideas beckon for your attention. Know that you are safe to explore the expression of your rejuvenated creativity, releasing all judgment as your curiosity is piqued. You're in the most fertile cycle of your life right now, intuitively keen, with heart wide open, mindful that each step in the direction of your dreams and desires is effortlessly supported by all the divine helpers in the unseen realms. What a lovely way to put the fact that anything that you are doing at this time, embracing that divine feminine, the compassion, knowing that you trust your intuition to guide you, and which is basically your higher self and the divine working together, channeling that message into you to say, okay, I need to go here because I know that's the path to me becoming the full expression of who I am. And that is the full thought of ascension, is we're raising our consciousness level, that consciousness is divine consciousness, it's the universal consciousness. And because we're becoming closer and closer to that of spirit, then, and coming back to a grace of spirit, then basically we are finding more creative ways to make abundance happen for ourselves. We are becoming that much of an expression of ourselves. If you think about it, we have so many potentials out there that we can choose in order to make a success. Like if you want to call whatever it is that you choose to say what success is in your life, you can be that. This is a time to follow dreams, to recognize that your dreams can come true, because as you go along this route, this journey, you will also find that your dreams are honed in the right direction, in the direction of the divine. So in other words, there's more compassion in there. There's more nurturing towards yourself and to others. There's a difference where anything which could have been cutthroat or my life is better than someone else's life, or something that is ego driven, is actually falling away or melting into melting, actually not melding, melting away. And and you're becoming a better expression of yourself. So as we do that, and as we rebirth ourselves, become something different, we're being shown an access point, a portal, say, for example, to abundance that is unlimited, unlimited at all, like for any potential that we so desire. So it's up to you to take that leap. And it's becoming easier and easier to be able to take that leap. So it's right at your doorstep. It's there. You just have to open the door. So in the last part of this story, which really embraces the divine feminine, and we're really looking at the abundance coming in, we're looking at Skybridge, possibility for union. Skybridge. So possibility for union. Now, union can mean many different things. It could be union within the actual part of getting together in a relationship with someone else. It could be in a partnership with your with someone that's in your work, or basically very significant into a creative project that you're doing, or starting a business, or anything of that sort. Or it could also be the union that you will be having with the divine as you walk upon this journey. So let's see what else is said in this card deck. You stand before a seemingly unbreachable abyss, and there is no possibility of retreat. The path beyond or behind you is no longer a viable option. You have to act soon, though, or you run the risk of being stuck at the edge of the cliff. Life has brought you to this moment to offer you as yet undreamt of possibilities. But you must no longer postpone what you know to be inevitable. And yes, you are allowed a breath or two before the leap, so take a bit of time to yourself. Get away for a day or two of contemplation, or even for just a few minutes, walk to clear your head. Muster your courage so that you may cross the sky bridge. Sky bridge appears when the moment is absolutely right for a quantum leap. Life believes, oh, I'm getting chills with this too. Life believes you are ready, even if you do not agree. Remember not to confuse your true state of readiness with your plans and preparation. Respond with a determined yes, and let the universe take care of the details. You need only hold on to your positive affirmation, and the way will become obvious as you take flight and clear the abyss. Taking that magic leap, a leap of faith, basically. And this is when they talk about a quantum leap, this is what we're actually doing right now. We're taking a quantum leap into the unknown. So yeah, it's a little bit disconcerting. Yeah, it's challenging, but it's also incredibly beautiful, and talk about exciting. There's so much going on for ourselves. It's almost as though it can be very overwhelming with this. But what this bridge is doing, it's literally, it's the bridging the gap between what we've known and what we're about to become. And to me, this state of readiness is, no matter what happens, if you set your intention to make something happen, to allow yourself to progress, whether it's in your life purpose path, whether it's towards ascension and moving forward in consciousness, whether it's towards a physical material item or thing, like moving forward in a position, in a relationship, in your career, in your new business or business itself that you've had for a while, something's about to shift. And this is basically, it's a guarantee. This is changing too, because of the other thing I wanted to mention too is astrologically, we have a number of planets in the next several months that will also be going direct, because we've had them um, in retrograde for quite some time, and now they're going to be going direct. And with that, we'll start to see forward movement. We'll start to see, in fact, a forward movement in our way of thinking, our perspectives, our things that we've maybe pushed aside, but now we've got basically we've got this new motivation to redo things, revamp things, reorganize, and then plummet through. And this is where things can get done. And I believe this is also something for humanity, because we are at this tipping point where any dark forces that have tried to really push the limits on pulling us back, or keeping us in a prison, or keeping us in some kind of a holding us back from what we're supposed to be doing, which is progressing in ascension, it's going to fall away. It's going to be seen, and that's that part that basically is talking about discerning. So let's look at this. Let's look at this little story. Freya, the goddess of discernment, spending your time wisely and knowing that your truth is within you. The truth is there for right in front of you as well, but also knowing that it's honing your intuition, because you're really going to have to know what your intuition is telling you, to have whatever is being thrown at you resonate with you or not. Then we're into the cosmic womb, and knowing that it's the divine feminine, so we're also uh, enacting, we're also bringing in compassion into the mix of this, and knowing that um, as we move forward, that we are embracing that part with so many different potentials that could come up because of our compassionate view of things as well. And we're bridging that gap in the sky bridge. That possibility for union in any way also would be a union with spirit. And knowing that that is where we are heading, this is a very, very amazing and iconic time. So I hope this helps. I hope this kind of gives you a preparation for what is to come. And I know, even though we don't really know exactly what is going to be at our doorstep, that's the exciting part of it too. I mean, we've never really known what is ahead of us. We're always heading into the unknown. Every step of our life, every moment of our life, we're actually stepping into the unknown because we don't know what's going to happen moment to moment. But now we're going to start to see some inklings of synchronicity, and knowing that there could be potentials that we actually have an idea about, that certain spiritual gifts are going to be becoming more and more clear to us, or showing themselves. And it's just a very exciting time, especially during an eclipse when everything is amplified at the same time. So we have another one coming up, another lunar eclipse as well. So we know that um, we're we're basically being bombarded with a lot of energies this October. So I'm really hoping that take your time in basically taking some time for yourself. Take some time for self-care. Rest if you need, because a lot of this energy is really overwhelming. It can be. So allow yourself to rest and take some breaks here and there if you're really, really busy. So yeah, and just, yeah, just try to let things flow instead of being so against it, or walking against the grain here. Let things flow in your life. Just let it happen, because things are happening the way that they're happening. They're not all great. They're not all going to be wonderful in our lives, but it will yield a wonderful result. So just hang in there. So once again, thank you very much for watching. Like or subscribe if you haven't. I'll put a link below as well for the 6-month reading that is from June till December of this year. So you can check out what's going to be happening within the next couple of months. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and bye.